in throughout your day, people say stuff. Do you pay attention? Now, there's a difference between actually not being able to hear and actually paying attention. They work hand in hand, and sometimes to my advantage. When my wife Lisa asks me to do something or says something, I'll go, huh? What? Oh, I didn't hear you. But listening is an very important skill in life in general. Dr. John Braccio, Regional Psychological Services, here to help us out and improve our listening skills. Doc, what's up, Doc? Good morning.
Listen, good talking to you, my friend. And this is a big topic, really. Most persons you talk to, they'll admit that listening skills are critical in successful relationships. They also indicate many of the persons they interact with do not listen to them. The one element that is often lost is that the person agreeing to this is often not a good listener, or is someone who could be a far more effective listener with better relationships if they could find a way to become a better listener. And it sounds simple, but really listening is really an important factor. The positive thing is that one can develop better listening skills by simply trying to pay better attention to persons when they talk to them, and with intentionality, respond with caring, understanding, and empathy. Too often in this busy electronic-based society, people lost the skills of in-person interaction. That is made even worse with persons so busy leading their own lives that they have little desire to interact with others, and if so, often simply want to talk about themselves and their areas of concern. And a good way to improve your listening skills would include such basic things as making direct eye contact, which amazingly a lot of people don't do, Mike, and showing the person verbally and with body language that you care. This means you need to take a time out from whatever you were thinking about and try to give attention to the person you're talking to. You need to let the person get out their whole message, too. This is important, and try to understand it. If concerned, you can go back and reframe, like, what is this what you meant, or is this what you're saying, to make sure you fully understand the message and let them know you're paying attention and trying to understand. You really show the person you care about them in what they're saying when you respond to what they are sharing, and you give feedback. Now, not enough feedback to interfere with their decision-making, but in the form of understanding and trying to help the person get out whatever they're trying to say. This may seem simple enough, but it's an area that a large percentage of persons fail. You can just randomly talk to people you know in an area that a large percentage of persons fail. You know that, okay? So what you really have to do, you just have to really try to, with empathy and desire, try to understand feelings, because we all need validation of who we are and what we think about and what's important to us. When we validate the concerns of the person, make an effort to understand what they're saying and try to be helpful as they make decisions or express feelings that are important to them, you're really better developing listening skills. That this is often called active listening, when a person listens intently to another person to try to fully understand what they're saying. They don't have to fully agree. Agreement is not the key. The agreement is that you're listening and willing to totally really listen and understand what the person is saying. They don't judgmentally enter into the discussion and often end up with statements like, if you say things like, you should do this, or quit thinking that way, that's going to end the conversation. Good listening requires a person not to squelch the opinions of persons that what they're talking about, but you give every attempt to understand what's important. A complaint a person might have is hearing this, is that persons never listen to them. Well, they can use that as an excuse not to listen to others. But the important thing to remember is that successful relationships require that each person effectively listen to the other person. And if each person makes every effort to try to understand the views of those we interact with, well, we're not only going to be more empathetic and caring as a person, but we will have far more successful relationships with human beings, which we all need to have good self-esteem and lead happy lives. And Mike, if someone ever questions this thing, what people can communicate, people do, all you have to do is look at all the people fighting and arguing all the time.
Oh, man. Yeah.
to see that clearly people are not working on communication skills and really trying to interact more effectively with people they see, even eye contact or body language or just taking a time out from what you're doing and thinking about. These are really important things to really have an effective communication. It seems so simple, but so many people just, and they don't care. You talk to somebody and they'll have some feelings or things they want to talk about, and you really don't want to, or they don't want to, whatever it might be. And good friendships and relationships do require that there be a sharing of feelings, sharing of commonality, and willingness to work. Really, and relationships require a we, not an I. So, and I'm sure you've seen this a lot, have you not, in your life also?
And even as a parent, as a dad, I want to be the guide, right? Now, my girls come to me, I want to right away. I'm in advice mode, right? And so I'm thinking in my head without actually thinking it. I've had to find this out about myself. I'm in, okay, hurry and get through your thing so I can tell you what you need to do. If a buddy of mine said, and he's a big fatherhood guy and stuff, and we were talking. He said, how often are you listening? I said, well, of course I'm listening. He said, no. Listen to what they're saying. And he did make the big eye contact thing. He said, we tend to get into advice mode right away.
Yes.
You listen to the whole what they're saying to you, and take it in. Maybe you don't. They're not looking for your advice. They just want to dump stuff on you or something. Listening skills.
Well, Mike, that is really true, and that is a complaint that you'll find that women make about men all the time, that they're so solution-oriented that they're really not willing to listen and really go through the process the person's going through. So, like if there's a flat tire or something or whatever, there's a concern, the issue is to get out the feelings about how the person feels bad, where often men, and others too, not that women don't do this also, but generally want to say, well, let's solve this, let's move on, there's nothing more to do, we can problem solve it, and then there's no issue. That's not how the world works. A lot of times people have these feelings that they really want to get out, how they feel about something, and like you were saying, like with your kids, you're immediately ready to blow the whistle and problem solve, where the main thing is to listen, understand, empathize, and be ready to give solutions if you're asked for them, or make suggestions, call it what you will. But it's really a skill set that so many people don't have. And oddly, they see that the other people don't have the skill set, but they're not aware that either do they. So if everybody's working on, like the act of listening, trying to really say, well, how do you feel? Why do you feel this way? And if you're not sure, you can reframe it. Now, is this what you're thinking? Is this what you're feeling? Kind of going from there. It can lead to really positive communication, because in life, really, it is communication that's really critical. And then with so many people being so tied in to the computer, I know a friend of mine, and his son figures an active night is to go into his room and get on the computer, and everybody is interacting and talking. But that doesn't sound like my idea of a night out, okay, in terms of communicating. So
it's not helping you with any of your social skills, not at all.
Well, I don't think so. I really think it's critical that we have face-to-face communication. We really work on listening and sharing information, and that's something in this age, Mike, and maybe all ages, but I think particularly now in this electronic age, it's really something that we really have to work on and make sure that we get our communication skills up and really hone them and improve them.
Dr. John Braccio, Regional Psychological Services. Listening, people. Active listening. We got to practice it. It's a skill. Hey, Doc, we're up on time. I appreciate it, though. Good information today, as always. We'll do it again, next week. It'll be the day after Memorial Day. You'll be around, right?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'll be ready to talk to you, my friend, and you have a good holiday, and just want the best for you, and we'll talk later.
All right. We'll listen to you next Tuesday. How about that?
Okay,
see you later, buddy. Yep.
Bye-bye.
1320 WILS. We'll do this and come right on back.